Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are here to discuss, oh, you know it, 2 new Instant Look in a palettes from Charlotte Tilbury, part of her Look of Love collection. We have Pretty Blushing Beauty and we have Glowing Beauty, which makes, I think, the 3rd, 4th, or 100th palette of hers with the word glowing in it. My goodness. We also have, we're gonna swatch, we're gonna talk about it, but I just want to get this out of the way really quickly. With this Love collection, a few things were also reintroduced and came back. Do you remember these guys from a while ago, towards the end of 2020? We had these Tinted Love, I think they were called. Yeah, they were like a lip and cheek tint. I like them a lot. They're back. They're $34 each. I have a video on them that I have already done when they were first kind of teased at the end of 2020, and I will include that link below so you can see these. I actually do like them, and if you like the Victoria Beckham lip stains or even the Benetint cheek and lip stain, I think you'll like these. I don't really like them on the cheek, just saying, but on the lips I think they're really comfy and nice, so I did want to bring that up. Also still available is the Look of Love Nude Romance lipstick. And when they called these little refillable, beautiful, I don't know if you can see all those little crystals in there. When they called it Look of Love collection, we knew there would be more. And what she's done is kind of interesting. She has brought back the wedding collection lipsticks from, I think it was last summer, Wedding Bells, Mrs. Kisses, and First Date. She has brought all 3 of those back, and she has put them in the refillable Look of Love beautiful casing. So those are back too. I reviewed Nude Romance and these wedding lipsticks when they were originally released. So if you scroll down to my description bar, you will see the original reviews of those lipsticks as well in separate reviews. But kind of cool that now if you get those wedding lipsticks, you get them in that pretty refillable case. So that's actually nice. If you missed out on them the first time, they're very, very pretty. But I want to spend the majority of our time here comparing, talking about, and swatching the 2 new Instant Look in a palette. So let's kind of look at them first. Here is Pretty Blushing Beauty. I had to check the bottom of it. This is the lighter of the 2. These guys are $75 each. So if you're buying both, you're probably a Charlotte Tilbury collector, right? Okay, so let's take a look. I'm gonna hold mine up really carefully because it came damaged, gosh darn it. My palettes went on a round trip party bus, I guess, without me. And so it took them a little longer to get here, and they both arrived a little bit damaged. I picture that, remember that Samsonite commercial? I'm aging myself, but remember that where the gorilla like jumps on the luggage? The gorilla was jumping on my stuff. So I'm gonna hold this up very carefully lest it fall apart. Here it is in the pan, don't worry, I'm also gonna swatch it for you. We have a little bit of a difference in this Instant Look in a palette than the other Instant Look in a palette. Sneaky Charlotte Tilbury has changed it up a little bit. Usually there is a bronzer and a highlight, but now we have a bronzer and a little highlight, and this large space here is taken up by a face powder, and it is her airbrush powder, pressed powder, which is world famous and gorgeous and beautiful for setting makeup. The highlighter, which frankly I guess we really don't use too much of, has gone to a little spot here with a little blush. So rather than a swish and a pop shade of blush, there is only 1 shade of blush. If you recognize the bronzer and the highlighter shades in this palette, that is because this is from the Film Star Bronze and Glow. In this palette, it is the lighter of the 2. So if you have that, you will recognize it. And I will be doing some arm swatches and some comparisons in just a moment, and we will try it on. While we're at it, let's look at the other $75 Instant Look in a palette. This is the Glowing Beauty, which, as you saw earlier, I checked the name of because she has so many glowings. My goodness, we're glowing with her. So I just wanted you to look at the shades. This is the darker of the 2. Again, if you recognize the highlight and the bronzer, it is because they are the darker shades from the Film Star Bronze and Glow. And we have a slightly different shade of airbrush Flawless Finish powder too. My goodness, a bunch of tongue twisters. Also, again, only one blush shade, a little bit deeper rather than the Swish and the Pop. Now, when we talk about comparisons, my goodness, we could be here all day. We'd really be here all day if we were comparing some of the prime eye looks. Now, what Charlotte's calling these now is Brighten, Enhance, and Smoke. Because we have three, we've changed the names a little bit from that prime that we usually refer to in her eye palettes. So we have Brighten, Enhance, and Smoke. So if we talk about the Brighten shade and we look through all of her, and Brighten and Enhance shades really, and we look through all of her palettes, we will find a lot of similarities there. So I didn't compare that. What I did instead was I looked at both of these palettes, I set them up and I stared at them, and I chose from my collection, and I have everything from Charlotte Tilbury, I chose from my collection those that had the most similar feel to them to swatch. I also realize that many of you have very specific criteria for things that you are looking for. You want just the smoke shade or just the blush compared to just the blush here or there. If you have those specific requests and they will help with your purchasing, please just let me know. Drop me a line here or on Instagram, and I would be happy to do a personal swatch comparison for you. I find that tends to work better anyway than doing an hour-long video with a million swatches. Not that those are bad. I love to watch those too, but I just, for our needs here, I find that that works really, really well. People who are doing longer videos, fantastic. I will end up watching them and enjoying them. But for our purposes here, just let me know what you need, and I will make sure to accommodate that. So what I have coming up in the swatches, I am going to show you Pretty Blushing Beauty, and I did not, with Pretty Blushing Beauty and Glowing Beauty, I did not do the face powder. Those are different shades of Airbrush Flawless Finish. So I'll let you look at that. But I did all the others with, what I did was the eyes first, and then the highlight, blush, and bronzer in those two. Then I added just what looked similar and kind of to me was the Instant Look at a Palette Stoned Rose. I've also added Pillow Talk. This really has very Pillow Talky vibes for me. I also compared it to the Pillow Talk palette of Pops. It kind of got me there too. And the Walk of No Shame quad. I didn't go much further than that, but again, if you have blush comparisons, we went over that. Anything specific that you need, Princesses, you just let me know and I'll get that going for you. Meanwhile, let's get into the swatches and then let's try these babies on. Here we go. Okay, let's try these on. I'm going to start with Pretty Blushing Beauty, which is the lighter of the two palettes. I'm kind of a funny little happy medium. I am actually a very neutral, light medium. And though I would never, ever complain about shade selection, I'm not that silly, I will say that sometimes when there's two versions, where I have a lot of friends and subscribers and viewers who will say none work for them, sometimes I'm right in the middle. One works a little, one doesn't. So I do not actually think that Pretty Blushing Beauty, the lighter of the two, will really work for me. So let's see. That's why I got both. And of course, if you are a collector like me and you get both, I have a Sonia G brush here, you can let me know what you think and you can use in between the two. But most of us in the world have a limited supply of space, of money we want to spend on things. So I'm just going to do this, as they say, with this Brighten shade here to start with. Now I have hooded eyes, so this is a very sparkly Brighten shade, but let's just try it. And of course, the more you play with these palettes, the more you can change around what you do. I, for instance, will probably end up using the bronzer, which is going to be way too light even for me to bronze with. I would probably end up using that in the crease, to be frank. But I'm going to go in with the exact same Sonia G brush. This stuff is pretty light, and I'm going to at least take this matte, or this actually, it's not really a matte shade, it's kind of a sheen. It's not as sparkly as the other, and I'm just using them just for demonstration purposes as intended. But like I said, I bet you that I would use that bronzer in the crease, which is always kind of a good idea. Same brush, I'm going in with this darkest shade, what she is calling the smoke shade, and just kind of putting it on the outer end of the eye. I didn't even dust off my brush for that one. Put this down, gotta have two hands here. And actually, that's really pretty. It's a really gentle look, but it's very, very pretty. Now, I'm gonna get some underneath here. I'm gonna take this, the darkest shade, the smoke shade, and go underneath. And what I'm planning to do, guys, just to save my poor little eyes, is I'm only going to finish the look with mascara and eyeliner on the second, which I'll end up just kind of keeping on and wearing. But this will do, and then I will take off. So let's try the bronzer in the lighter palette. Let's give it a try. Not bad. Not bad, it shows, it warms up the face. Remember, I'm a very neutral, light medium. I'm just trying to kind of warm up my face. I think it works. I do. And how about the highlight? Now, again, let me remind you, the highlighter here and the bronzer, this is the Film Star Bronze and Glow in the lighter of the shades. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow in, what is it called? Light medium. I have Film Star Bronze and Glow in light medium, and the highlighter is beautiful. It's the same one as in here. So those are definitely repeat shades. That's really pretty. Let's look at this cheek shade. Let me get a good cheek brush out here. So many to choose from. Again, this is the cheek shade from the lighter, the Pretty Blushing Beauty. Actually really, really pretty. I did not think I would have any need or any like for this. Now, if you can, sorry, I'm rattling everything on the table here. If you can imagine this with the mascara that it so desperately needs, what do you think? And I actually think I'm gonna like the darker palette better. Again, I would play with this first palette. I would definitely use the bronzer probably as the transition shade for this one, but maybe it's because it's winter and I slather myself in sunscreen. I think it's kind of working. I like it. This is really pretty. Let's try the darker one. Okay, let's try Glowing Beauty. That is what it's called, right? Yes, Glowing Beauty. There's been so many glowing things in Charlotte Tilbury land. Okay, so I have to be a little bit mindful that this is the darker of the two. And the fun thing, as I turn my mirror around here, about the lighter palette is that I could just go in with abandon. And you know I like to do that, guys. But I gotta be a little bit more careful with this one. So let's go in exactly as we're supposed to with what she is now calling the Brighten shade. And just put it all over. Again, a bit of a glitzy choice for someone with uneven hooded eyes, such as myself. But I'm going to do it as prescribed. Please, again, know you can mix and match. You can move all over this palette. Here is the second shade, which is the Enhance shade. Also not generally one to enhance a hooded eye, but let's just do it. And I am using, as you see, the exact same brush, and frankly, because this Enhance shade is such a just sparkle, 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 I'm just going over the entire eye. And then I'm going to use the Smoke shade carefully I'm going to use the Smoke shade very carefully, because this looks kind of dark to me. Let's just see. Oh, that's really pretty. In fact, I am going to take a little bit of this Smoke shade and just kind of get it in as a transition. So I'll put the bulk of it on the side of the eye. the outer edge, I should say, of the eye, and then more of it kind of in the crease. Well, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. Oh, I like that. I do like this one already better. I am now taking that third eye shade and I'm going to go under the eye with it. If you hear a noise, that is a plane going by outside. I hope they're going somewhere fun. Oh, I'd like to be on a plane right now, you guys, wouldn't you? Oh, one day. One day. Okay, that's pretty. It needs eyeliner and mascara, but I'll take care of that. All right, okay, so now we have the bronzer, which is definitely dark. Again, this is Film Star Bronze and Glow in here. I actually like a good dark bronzer because, you know, nobody can tell me what to do. Darn it, I'm gonna wear my dark bronzer. Okay, and we'll use the highlighter, which here is a smaller one. Let's highlight. This highlighter is always a little bit too dark for me. I know that because I have the darker of the two, but let's have fun. You know, I've been having fun with this ever since Wayne Goss came out with those blush palettes that some of them had that darker golden highlight. I've been kind of enjoying that. So this is the highlight that I am using. It'd be nice if I showed you, wouldn't it? This is the highlight here. Let's run some down the nose. It's a bit dark for me, but I'm kind of enjoying it as a summery thing. And I did like the lighter palette, but I am liking this darker one more. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use the same brush, why not, for the cheek shade in here. Let's see what we think. Yeah, I'm liking this. This is like Glowgasm for me. I enjoyed the darker Glowgasm palette, even though it wasn't specifically for me. I liked it better. And I do realize, by the way, oops, I'm getting a bit Aunt Sally there. I do realize that I'm fortunate that I can wear both. That wasn't a complaint. I do know I have you out there that really feel left out with shade choices. So trust me, I wasn't comparing that. I am lucky in that I can wear both. But you know, misery loves company. We all like to find something to complain about, right? So I went a bit Aunt Sally there. Sorry about that. I'll fix that up maybe with a little bit of concealer. Or maybe I'll leave it. I kind of like it. Let me get some mascara and some eyeliner on and look at my Aunt Sally Bless situation here and some lipstick on. And let's talk about what I think about these guys. They're actually kind of pretty. Okay, we are back. And as you know, I am wearing Glowing Beauty. I have added on the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Mascara and the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Liner. Because I do think the Pillow Talk line is most harmonious with these two new Instant Look palettes. On my lips, I have added on her lip and cheek tint in Trippin' on Love, which I think is actually a really pretty shade, and I do like these little lip and cheek tints personally, but I like a good tint. Do you need to get both of these? If you're a collector, don't let me stop you. If you really just want something kind of new for spring and coming into summer, let your skin tone be your guide. Light skin tone obviously is going to get pretty Blushing Beauty, and I do believe Glowing Beauty will work for a variety of skin tones in the darker shades. I really do. Keep in mind that the Film Star Bronze and Glow in the lighter is in the lighter, and in the darker is in the Glowing Beauty, somewhere in the middle. That means light medium like me, a little bit lighter or a little bit darker. You really have your choice, and you certainly can mix and match, but there's not enough mix and match opportunities to make it definitely a value to buy both, if that makes sense. But they wear beautifully. I will let you know I got called away in between trying on Glowing Beauty with you guys and adding on the mascara. I did get called away for quite a few hours, and I haven't touched up the eye makeup. Other than putting on eyeliner and mascara, I haven't touched anything up. So you are kind of seeing it after a few hours, and it's wearing beautifully, not creasing. Not that I thought it would, but it's a lovely, lovely formula. So I just wanted you to know that we had a little bit of an unexpected wear test. Let me know your thoughts below. What did you pick up? Are you a collector who got both, or is that just silliness? Let me know your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope you did. And if you haven't already done so, I would love for you to subscribe and help me build this community here on YouTube. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.